paid the ultimate sacrifice is to live a life worthy of that sacrifice. And so now I'd like to introduce Elisa Cardinal, a woman whose life has been defined by service, from the decks of a Navy destroyer to the halls of academia, and now as the CEO of Service Women's Action Network. Born on an Army base in West Germany, Elisa's journey is a powerful testament to dedication and service. She spent 11 years in the Navy, serving 5 on active duty and 6 in the reserves. Breaking barriers, she ran for federal office as a single mom, making history with a child care provider on her campaign staff. Since joining the Service Women's Action Network in 2021 and becoming CEO in 2023, she has been a fierce advocate for military and veteran women. Please give Elisa a warm welcome.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Commissioner Greenway, for inviting me today. Every year on Memorial Day, we gather to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to our nation. It is a day to remember the profound cost of freedom, etched in the lives of brave men and women who answered the call to serve and never returned home. Today, I want to shine a light on a group whose sacrifices, though equally profound, have sometimes been overlooked and erased. The courageous women who have died serving in the United States military from the earliest days of our republic to the present. From the Revolutionary War, women played vital, though often unofficial roles. They were spies, couriers, and nurses, enduring the brutal conditions of war alongside their male counterparts. Women like Margaret Corbin, who took over her fallen husband's cannon at the Battle of Fort Washington, fighting until she herself was severely wounded, exemplified the early spirit of sacrifice. Though not formally enlisted, their contributions and the dangers they faced were undeniable, and some paid the ultimate price through disease or direct engagement. The Civil War saw women serving as nurses, laundresses, and even disguised as men to fight on the front lines. Records indicate that some of these brave souls were only discovered after they were wounded or killed in battle. Their quiet heroism and sacrifice underscore a long-standing commitment to defending our nation's ideals. As we moved into the 20th century, women's roles in the military became more formalized. During World War I, hundreds of American nurses died overseas and stateside, succumbing to disease and the harsh realities of wartime service. In World War II, over 400 military women lost their lives. They were nurses, like Army nurse Alida E. Lutz, the first U.S. military woman to die in a combat zone in World War II when her hospital plane went down, and the women Air Force service pilots who ferried aircraft and towed targets, facing the same dangers as their male counterparts, with 38 wasps dying in service. In Korea and Vietnam, women primarily served as nurses, often in harrowing conditions close to the front lines, tending to the wounded under fire. While direct combat roles were still largely restricted, their proximity to danger meant their lives were constantly at risk, and many succumbed to injuries, illness, or accidents. The conflicts of the post-9/11 era, particularly in Iraq and Afghanistan, marked a significant shift. With evolving roles and the nature of modern warfare, women found themselves in direct combat situations more frequently than ever before. Over 150 women have died in service in these conflicts, including Specialist Lori Payesawa, the first Native American woman to die in combat while serving in the U.S. military, and the first woman in the U.S. military killed in the Iraq War. Others, like Captain Kimberly Hampton, the first female military pilot to be shot down and killed by an enemy in U.S. history, and Captain Jennifer Moreno, an Army nurse, killed in action while attached to a Ranger unit. These women exemplified the profound sacrifices made by women in recent years. Today, as we reflect on the meaning of Memorial Day, let us ensure that the stories of these remarkable women are woven into the fabric of our remembrance. Their courage, patriotism, and unwavering dedication to duty, often in the face of societal barriers and immense personal risk, are an integral part of our nation's military heritage. They serve with honor, they sacrifice with valor, and they deserve our eternal gratitude and recognition. Let us carry their memory forward, ensuring that their names and their sacrifices are never forgotten. May we always remember the brave women and men who gave their last full measure of devotion for the freedoms we cherish. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite Jason Williams to the podium. Jason has the honor to serve as the Deputy Director of Harris County Veteran Services Department. He is a Navy and Army combat veteran, so one branch of service wasn't enough for him that he had to go to number 2. He's been awarded the Bronze Star, Combat Action Medal, Army Commendation Medal, and various other awards. He has served our Harris County military veterans since leaving service in 2010. Welcome, Jason, to the program.
We got a few Marines, so I'll talk a little slow today. Just a quick thank you to the Commissioner and the Commissioner's Court. For those that don't know, we became a standalone department just a few short years ago, and I'll explain real quick why that's a big deal. This office has been around since the 1940s. However, we were stuck under other various departments throughout the years. When the Commissioner's Court made us a standalone department, now we report directly to the Commissioner's Court. And that made some significant changes for us. When I started here 5.5 years ago, there was 2 people in this office. We're now up to 28 people. So thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner's Court, for doing that for our veterans in Harris County. Now we have a direct line to them where we can discuss veteran issues, veteran topics, veteran concerns for all our veteran constituents. There's about 200,000 veterans in Harris County. That's a lot. So it's very important to have that direct service. We do things in our department that, your typical claims and benefits, connection with the VA, and things like this, but I also want to talk about our justice involved. I have a team that goes into the Harris County jails 2 to 3 days a week, and we work with, believe it or not, there's a ton of incarcerated veterans out there. And what we want to do is help these guys out and gals, and help them cut down on recidivism through programming, peer mentoring, and things like this. So this is a very significant thing we got into, again, by working directly with the commissioners that help this evolve. And so we're very proud of that. We are the only veterans department in the country right now that does this. So we're getting a lot of national attention here. But again, working with our commissioners allows us to get into these kinds of things because we have their support looking out for us and our veterans. One other thing I want to say about Memorial Day, I'm glad the people in front of me touched on it. I started getting texts first thing this morning, and somebody sent me a picture of a barbecue pit. Okay, I get it. Memorial Day is kind of a signal to, hey, summer's starting, dust off your barbecue pits, let's go. Thank the veteran, this and that. Today is not about that. That's more like Veterans Day, where you really think of veterans. And I'll never say don't think of veterans. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is for a lot of us that served in combat, today is not really a happy day necessarily. I was standing over here earlier looking at this memorial. If you have a day that goes by, don't think about these wars. All right? And I have friends that died right next to me. Today is about them. And I thank God for their service. Even though they died next to me, they protected me. And David, you hit it on the head. Today is about honoring them. And I also want to say, let's don't forget those who go to war, survive, and come back only to become isolated and abuse substances and take their own life. Let's not forget about them either.
Thank you very much, Jason, for the essential work that your organization does. And I've always said this, you want to get something done, give it to a war fighter. Don't figure out a way to make it happen. So thank you for what you and your organization do for the veteran community. Now we're going to